You're from Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today, Chris Shaffer with the Clinton Community Education Foundation. Good to see you again, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming out and coming on the show. We appreciate it very much. CCEF has a busy couple of months coming up. You've got some fundraising going on. Let's start there. What do you have?
Absolutely. Well, we're wanting to invite everybody to come join us on May 2nd. The Eagles has graciously offered to host a Kentucky Derby fundraiser to benefit CCEF, and we'll get about 50% of the proceeds that are generated. So it starts at 3 o'clock. They're going to have finger foods available, and they're going to have a bunch of fun Derby-themed activities, like a Derby hat contest. So ladies and men can deck out a fancy hat. 50-50 race boards, 50-50 raffles, split the deck, possibly some raffle baskets, mane and tail games, so all kind of things. And then, of course, it'll culminate in watching the Kentucky Derby, which is just super fun to watch anyway.
Will there be, I know this kind of takes us back to the Derby Days fundraiser that the CCEF used to have for many years at the country club and a few other venues, and it was always just a great time. It really was. Is there going to be entertainment after the race or anything like that?
I think no, just the race and just
some fellowship,
just some fun and fellowship. Yeah, folks can enjoy. And so it is open to the public, which is really nice of the Eagles to open up their doors for us. And
so
we just cannot thank them enough.
Yeah,
exactly. So come join us at 3 o'clock and, stay for a couple of hours, and then you can go on with the rest of your evening. So
there you go. So make a day of it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Talk about the partnership with the Eagles. How did this come about, Chris?
We contacted them last year. We were looking for a location to host a trivia event. That was something, a new fundraiser we tried last year, and they were really great to work with. And then they approached us and offered to do a Kentucky Derby event as one of their community fundraising events, and we just so appreciate that. They've been wonderful to work with. And then in June, they've graciously offered to let us host another trivia event. So we'll have a trivia contest at the Eagles. It'll start at 5 o'clock on June 6th. And it was loads of fun. We had a great time last year. You can gather teams. We had fun trivia. I'd never been to a trivia contest before, and I really enjoyed it. There will be monetary prizes for the first place and second place team. And then we'll have some other fundraisers. We're going to offer a supper. We're going to offer a 50-50 raffle and some silent auction. Our educational liaisons, the schools, put together these amazing baskets, and so we'll have those available. So, but these two events are important because they help us bump up our budget, help with fundraising, and in order to do all that we do, that's one of the things we've got to raise money. And most of the money we raise in our fundraisers go toward classroom grants, where we buy additional materials or equipment or whatever is needed to help teachers, things that aren't covered by the budget. And then some go help us with scholarships, and then other CCEF activities that we do through the year. So,
right. Yeah. Of course, that's going back to the to the basics of the CCEF. I mean, that's the mission, right? Is to everything you bring in to pour back into the kids or the school itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our goal is to enhance and what's provided to the kids so that they have a very rich educational experience.
Sure. Any idea, Chris, how much you pour back into the schools in a given year between scholarships, teacher grants, between, those special projects you talked about? I know there's a lot of other things the CCEF does. How much do you pour back into the schools?
Well, just this year in February, we gave about $14,000 in classroom grants. Scholarship-wise, it keeps going up. We are so blessed to have many endowed scholarships. In 2025, we awarded 34 scholarships. Now, mind you, some of these scholarships we give are 4 years. So kids are getting these every year for 4 years. But we gave $39,000 from CCEF funds and $13,000 from other funds. So a total of $52,000
Wow.
last year in scholarship money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just, we do an awful lot.
Yeah, you're
So,
talking almost 66,000 between just scholarships and teacher grants.
absolutely. Yeah.
And that doesn't even include, Chris, I know you do a lot with the AP classes for high school kids.
Yeah, we help offset the costs for the AP classes, the dual credit classes. So we pay 75% of the student's cost, and the students only have to pay 25%, which is a great bargain. So the typical cost this past year was $435 for the course. So the kids only had to pay about $100 for a class, which is great. The AP placement fees, we help support, offset the cost of that. And that's coming up soon, I'm sure. And then we have a bunch of special projects. These are things that are cool. They happen every year, and we give them money to help offset their costs. The Challenger program at the junior high school, the CEO program, all of these kinds of things that are done annually. We help support those as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know there's some, like, along the classroom grant lines. I know there's just kind of some general every year contributions you make to the classrooms as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Is it, I mean, what would you say the kind of total, I mean, between the AP courses, the special projects, I mean, what would you say the total, on a good year is that you put back in the school between all those things?
Well, gosh, definitely over $100,000. I don't have that right on top of my head, and I'm bad at math at the last minute. But
no, I was going to say, I was thinking 75,000, but
I would say it's over 100,000 because by the time the AP classes are like $14,000, something like that we pay.
Wow.
So it really adds up.
It does.
So our fundraising is so super important.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Again, Chris Shaffer, our guest here this morning with the Clinton Community Education Foundation, in studio with us. You mentioned the fundraising is so important, but I don't know that you're making 100,000 in fundraising. So how else are you raising funds, or where does that money come from?
Yeah, we were really, the board was set up so many years ago, and they were very forefront thinking, and they created some endowments. And so those funds are invested for us, and we can use what's available, the profit. We never go into the balance or the key thing of that, but so those funds really do help us out as well. And the fundraising helps us add to what's available. And of course, it's all contingent on the stock market and how the investments do every year as to what we can provide. But we want to be good stewards of the money that we've been granted, and we want to spend that and not hoard it. We want to make sure that we do the best we can at sharing the bounty of the founding group of CCEF.
Yeah. Has I know the last couple of years it's been a challenge to find a Derby Day fundraiser. That kind of fell by the wayside for a few years. Do you feel like fundraising fell off for the CCEF a little bit, but you're starting to build that momentum back?
Well, I think COVID hit everything. It was just a rough time. People didn't want to get out, etc. And so we did have a major fall off from that experience. And what we found is May is a busy month, and between graduations and proms and sport activities and whatever. And so the Derby Day just became more and more of a challenge to get people to attend. So I think, what the Eagles is offering us is a great option for us to still have that ability to raise some funds, but make it a little less pressure for us, and hopefully something enjoyable that's open to all the community. There's no cost to attend. All you have to do is just come and enjoy the Kentucky Derby with some friends, and maybe buy a raffle ticket or two. That would be great.
Yeah, totally. Let's revisit that one more time, Chris, before we take a time out here this morning.
Sure.
The Derby Day fundraiser, we'll start there. The when, the where, how much, how do folks get involved? What's going on that day?
Well, just remember us on May 2nd. Come out at 3:00. Join us at the Eagles. They'll have some fun activities that are Derby themed, and just buy a raffle ticket or two, or some whatever, and anything that you spend will help CCEF continue to do our good works.
Very good. So come out and be a part of that. That's May the 2nd. And then let's get to trivia. I know this one's down the road in June, but doesn't hurt to put the kind of word out there. Again, the reminder on the June trivia fundraiser.
June 6th from 5 to 8 p.m. We're going to have a trivia contest. So start getting together your teams. It's lots of fun. We will offer a meal and that you can purchase. And there's a cost for each team to join in and have a table, but it's great fun.
Yeah, very good. So put that on the calendar as well. When do the teams when can teams start to be registered for that event?
I think we'll probably open that up in probably May sometime frame.
Okay.
So look for Facebook posts and we'll post posters all throughout the community as well.
Very good. Very good. On that note, Chris, how do folks learn about all things CCEF? Maybe we can learn to get involved or a contribution to the foundation. How do they do those things?
Absolutely. We're on Facebook under the Clinton Community Educational Foundation, so you can follow us. And we try to post regularly on all of the Clinton area social media pages. And the other place you can find our good information is our website. That's ccef15.org.
Very good. Chris Shaffer, Clinton Community Education Foundation, my guest in studio here this morning. More to come on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW. Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guest in studio today is Chris Shaffer with the Clinton Community Education Foundation. And Chris, as we chat here for this morning, let's dive into scholarships. I know that at least the application deadline has come and gone, but moving forward with getting those distributed, remind us about the scholarships.
Oh yeah, that's exciting. We're getting ready. All of the scholarship applications have been submitted, and we'll be beginning the interview process very soon. And recipients will be announced at the Gold Star Awards, which is May 12th. And just a shout out to CCEF, we provide the refreshments for the Gold Star Awards as well. And that's just wonderful. You know, we have over 18 scholarships that are available. And they range from technical programs and vocational programs to traditional 4-year. And it's one of our favorite things to do is to interview these young men and women to see what they're all about, because there's some great kids in our Clinton School District. Yeah.
What was response like to scholarships this year? Did you get a good application pool?
Yeah, we always do. And it's always a hard decision. So absolutely. But yeah, we're looking forward to setting up those interviews and choosing. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So that's right around the corner. And
Right
you
around the
mentioned
corner.
you mentioned the Gold Star banquet,
Mhm.
Chris. That's always a really exciting night. I know for
Yes.
the students and the staff. You hear about this, periodically on
Yeah.
the show. What is that night like? What's it all about? What goes on the Gold Star banquet? How about that?
Yeah, that's run by the school. We sponsor it by just providing refreshments. So we want to make sure folks do stop by for refreshments. But it's a night where Clinton High School, they just honor kids for a variety of accomplishments through the year, all grade levels. And it's just a celebration of the good job that the kids at Clinton High School have done all year.
Sure, very good.
Super event.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So, and I wonder, back to the scholarship piece. I wonder how competitive do the scholarships get?
Well, absolutely. Some of the scholarships are a 4-year scholarship,
Mhm.
and so the students are really diligent about putting in for these opportunities to help with their college expenses.
Mhm.
And we're not the only organization in town that offers scholarships. There are lots of other organizations throughout that town. There are tons of scholarships
Mhm.
being awarded on Gold Star, which is really exciting to see, that so many kids can get help with their college expenses, because man, it is pricey, is it not?
It is,
Yeah.
and it is getting more and more
Yeah.
expensive every year. And I know that not only do you have the scholarships the CCEF offers, but
Mhm.
you help administer scholarships for other groups too, correct?
Right. We have some families that have set up special scholarships in honor of their loved ones, etc. And sometimes we do the interviews, sometimes the families do the interviews. It just sort of varies based on the sponsoring body
Mhm.
preference. So
Sure. Yeah. We mentioned in the last segment you're going to spend the early summer doing some fundraising in May and June.
Uh-huh.
But what happens after the fundraising time kind of winds down for the foundation?
We start planning for the next year. Our year begins in July. We have to do some boring paperwork like bylaw reviews and stuff like that. But we continue to meet and plan and look forward, putting together documents so that we can do the best job that we can.
Sure. Yeah. Gotcha. Are you looking for board members or volunteers
Absolutely.
or?
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to have anybody who's interested in being a board member come approach us through our website, attend a meeting. We meet second Tuesdays of the month at 5:30 p.m. in the unit office
Sure.
conference room. So come by or talk to any of the board members. All the board members are listed on our webpage. You might know one of those folks, and we'd be glad to explain what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you ask of a board member? Is meeting attendance required for a certain percentage of the meetings? What's the time commitment? How about some of those things?
Yeah, we meet once a month. There's no requirement in regards to attending, but it sure helps if folks do attend. We ask for some participation on some of the subcommittees like scholarship applications, fundraising, the classroom grant committee. So there's some of those kinds of things. And then we ask that people come and sign up to help us with our community events like the trivia night and the thing with the Eagles coming up, the Derby Days. So it's not onerous by any means. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, like you said, the foundation does a lot for the schools. And I know talking with you in the past, one of your favorite things is the course of teacher grants and being a part of that. Is that process? You said onerous. Is it extensive, or what is that?
We just review. We have a committee that just reviews the grants and
Okay.
looks at our budget and
Yeah.
decides, how much can we award.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can award 100% of the grants. Sometimes we can't quite do that. This year was one of those years. We couldn't quite award 100% to everybody, but we were able to give everybody a little bit of something. So,
Yeah, sure. And then those got to be tough decisions to make sometimes.
We hate to do that. We want to be
Right.
generous, but
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sure. Very good. I got a couple of minutes yet here still with you,
Yeah.
Chris. Let's one more time revisit our first segment and highlight the fundraisers coming up again. Derby Day. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Give us the when, the where, and what's going on for Derby
Yeah,
Day.
May 2nd at the Eagles. It kicks off at 3:00. So come join us for Derby Day themed activities. There's going to have finger foods available. It's open to the public. It will be a family-friendly event. So should be a great time. And then June 6th at the Eagles again, we're hosting a trivia contest from 5 to 8 p.m. So probably in May, look for information about pulling together a trivia team and come join us for some fun.
Sure. Anything in the year ahead, Chris, you're looking forward to, or maybe the foundation is starting to plan for?
Well, we pretty much have got our routine down. So we know that this comes in this, our annual mail campaign fundraiser is usually in November, December timeframe. So in August, we usually present to the teachers and just remind about CCEF. So they have the grants on their proposal. And we also give teachers a small gift to start off the year to show our appreciation for all of that they do. So we sort of have this little schedule of things that we know, okay, this is when this happens. This is when this happens. Spring is definitely our busiest because we have classroom grants. We have the
Gold Star Bank.
The Gold Star. We have the scholarships. So those are probably busy. But throughout the year, we're paying for the AP classes. We're paying for the dual credit classes. Or the AP testing, I guess is what it is. So, and then the scholarships are, right before school starts, our treasurer is very busy sending checks to all of those colleges to help with that scholarship.
Chris, does the CCEF still help with Read Across Clinton?
Yeah, that's one of our special projects. So we give them some money every year, and we help facilitate grants that they apply for, because the school can't receive the grant, but our foundation can. So absolutely, we do.
Yeah, and that's an end of year thing, right? You're sending books home with the kids for the summer.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
the teachers organize that, and kids that are invited and sent home with at least 3 books, if not more.
Sure, very good. Where do folks go to learn about all things CCEF, Chris?
CCEF, go to our webpage, ccef15.org. Or follow us on Facebook, Clinton Community Educational Foundation.
Chris Shaffer with the Clinton Community Education Foundation. Our guest, Network News is now.